Hi, my name is Arya, and I'm a lead advisor at Dowling & Yankee. Today, we're going to be talking about 10b5-1 plans. And to help us better understand what the key considerations are when it comes to creating these plans, we're going to follow a character named Bob as he drafts up his very first 10b5-1 plan. But before we dive into that, what is a 10b5-1 plan? Who do they apply to? And why do people use it? A 10b5-1 plan is a predetermined trading program that outlines the price, number of shares, and dates someone will transact on shares of stock. It applies to insiders and executives of publicly traded companies who are usually subject to several restrictions. People typically use 10b5-1 plans to avoid accusations of trading on inside information. So now that we have that covered, let's get back to Bob. Bob is the Chief Executive Officer of a local publicly traded tech company here in San Diego. As CEO, he gets paid a salary, as well as restricted stock units, non-qualified stock options, and incentive stock options as part of his overall executive compensation. Although Bob has been with the company for about 5 years, he's never before used a 10b5-1 plan to diversify and sell his company stock. He's working to draft up his very first plan and, understandably so, make some mistakes along the way. Luckily, he has a trusted financial advisor, Mary, who is well-versed in executive compensation to check over his draft. In the first draft of the plan, Bob includes a portion of his fully vested RSUs, a portion of his non-qual stock options, as well as some ISOs in the trading program. While the vested RSUs and non-qual stock options present good candidates to include in the 10b5-1 plan, the ISOs should typically be kept out. ISOs provide the possibility of paying significantly less in taxes if certain special rules and holding requirements are satisfied. If Bob includes the ISOs in his 10b5-1 plan, he would not be able to take advantage of the favorable tax treatment that ISOs can provide. Luckily for Bob, Mary catches this mistake and advises Bob to leave out the ISOs from his trading program. In the second iteration of the plan, Bob includes another tranche of his vested RSUs to replace the ISOs that were removed from the initial draft. While reviewing the second draft, Mary discovers that the cost basis of the new tranche of vested RSUs is higher than the cost basis of the original tranche. Further, Bob has outlined the sequence of his trading program to sell the low basis shares first before the high basis shares. Upon catching this mistake, Mary advises Bob to update the sequence of his trading program to sell the high basis shares first, which results in a lower tax impact before the low basis shares are sold. This updated sequence would allow Bob to push out a higher tax liability into the future. In Bob's third and final draft of his 10b5-1 plan, he looks to finalize the dates that each trade will be transacted on. Initially, Bob thinks to spread out these trades across 2 years, but after reflecting upon his past mistakes, he reaches out to Mary for some guidance. While 10b5-1 plans can be for any duration, Mary advises Bob to utilize a 1-year plan rather than 2. She notes that market conditions might change over time, and a shorter duration plan allows for adjustments to be made without having to change the plan while in effect, which is highly discouraged. After multiple iterations and conversations with Mary, Bob successfully completes and submits his first 10b5-1 trading program with some lessons learned along the way. Number 1, be mindful of the types of holdings to include and exclude in a 10b5-1 plan. Number 2, the sequence of trades within a plan matter and should take into account tax efficiency. And finally, implementing an annual plan rather than a longer duration plan is advantageous and provides for flexibility. As always, we highly recommend that you coordinate with a financial advisor and a tax advisor when you're putting together a 10b5-1 plan. Learn more about 10b5-1 plans and other considerations that impact executives and insiders. Feel free to check out our website and you'll find additional resources on the Insights page. Thanks so much for tuning in, and if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to myself or one of our other advisors within the firm.